It's Monday, August 21st, 2023. Let's talk about the news. From the New York Times, Russia's lunar lander crashes into the moon. The unmanned Russian Luna 25 spacecraft, which was meant to soft land on the moon's South Pole region, becoming the first to do so, has experienced an unexplained emergency that caused the craft to crash, according to Russian space agency Roscosmos. If successful, this would have been Russia's first return to the lunar surface since the 1970s, and it would have given the Russian government a fresh accolade and advantage in this industry, as the moon's south pole is thought to contain water ice, which would make it a desirable location for future settlement and possible fuel depots as well. The Indian Space Agency is planning to make their own attempted soft landing in the same region this Wednesday. From The Guardian, names and addresses of Trump jurors in Georgia posted on right-wing websites. The names, addresses, and other personal details of the jurors who indicted former U.S. President Trump in Georgia recently have been posted to far-right online communities, leading to further doxing and threats against these individuals by Trump supporters. The Fulton County, Georgia Sheriff's Office has said it's looking into these threats, alongside other local, state, and federal law enforcement agencies. These grand jury proceedings were secret, but the names of the jury members were included in the indictment, as is standard practice in the state, and the indictment is public record. So the publishing of the names was normal practice, but the divulging of these people's identities and the release of their personal information online, in spaces known for these kinds of threats, was apparently not accounted for. Other threats have been made against people involved in the 4 major legal cases Trump faces leading up to the 2024 election, and one Texas woman was recently arrested after threatening to kill a Texas Democratic representative and the federal judge overseeing Trump's Washington, D.C.-based criminal case. And from BBC News, Niger coup leader promises to hand over power in 3 years. The leader of the recent military coup in Niger, General Chiani, has said, following a meeting with mediators from the ECOWAS Western African Regional Union, that his government would return power to civilian leadership within 3 years, the details of which would be decided by the coup leaders within the next 30 days. This statement arrives at a tenuous moment at which the ECOWAS bloc of democratic regional nations has said it would attack Niger to return the elected government to office if necessary, but that they would prefer not to do that, while the Nigerian military government has said they would defend themselves if attacked, and pressure, including economic and military pressure, from other nations, wouldn't convince them to stray from their path. Other nations in the region that have had recent coups and which are now run by the military leaders of those coups have said they would support Niger if it is attacked by ECOWAS, so there's a fair bit of tension in the air right now, and there's a chance fighting could break out between more than a dozen West African nations, some of them supported by outside governments, some of them in the midst of their own fights with local extremist groups, and some of them working with Russian mercenary group Wagner. If you're finding some value in One Sentence News, consider leaving a quick review wherever you get your podcasts and or sharing the show with a friend. You can find out more about this show or subscribe to the email version at onesentencenews.com. And you can support this and other related projects, like the Let's Know Things and Brain Lenses podcasts at understandery.com.